Welcome to the latest midweek car competition judging video here at BOTB. We'll now hand over to the lawyer from Onside Law who'll oversee the proceedings.
My name's Henry Don from Onside Law and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company Assets. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name is Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer. Next game Saturday.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I've played football for more than 30 years and am now a senior county referee.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional football player, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
My name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, mentor, tutor and observer.
Good morning, my name's Peter Giorgio and I am a football and futsal referee.
Hi, I'm Jenna Scalacci, retired professional footballer. I'm now a head coach in a Tottenham College programme.
Hi, my name is Ari Mendonca. I've been involved in football for over 30 years, first as a player and then as a referee.
Hi, my name's Renee Hector. I play football for Watford FC Women and I'm a coach for Tottenham Hotspur Foundation.
Good morning, my name's Roger Wheeler. I'm a referee and I have been refereeing and lining for more than 30 years.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 10 individual selections.
Thank you, Henry. Morning all. I shall draw some lines up here. We've got quite a tight, that's a plume, I could say, up from the yellow player. And got a slightly bigger spread from the player in light blue. I'll come to you first, Leo. You're the dark blue cross there, just at the top to the right. If you could explain how you came to your position and if you could also explain what you see going on in the shot, that would be great.
Yeah. Hi, Matt.
Morning.
Yeah, there's two players in shot. It's an aerial challenge. The player in yellow is going to win the header. For me, he's above the player in white. So he's got the leap on him. And I actually think whoever gets above the other player usually wins the header. It's kind of a free header for him because he's definitely looks more powerful than the other guy with his jump. The other guy in white is kind of, he's not off the ground. He might even be sort of leaning a little bit away from the ball. So he's just watching the guy jump to win this header now. Yeah, the player in yellow who's going to win the header, I put it directly above his left eye because I think his body is slightly tilted. And even though he's jumping up, I think he's moving a little bit to his left. I went a little bit high with my cross because I think there's still a bit more in his leap and he's reaching to get to the ball.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Leo. As you said, he's sort of coming across the guy and looking straight up. And we seem to have a split on height more than width on this one. So with that in mind, Ari, I'll come to you next. You're just to the left of Leo's there, dark pink cross. You're sort of in line of height with Leo. What was your view?
Thanks, Matt. Well, I completely agree with the Leo vision of this challenge. I felt that the player in yellow is not on the top of his jump. Like Leo said, his body is tilted slightly back. I noticed that his arm and his hand, left hand, is about to clinch, which tells me that he still has a way to go. Normally, just before heading, he would have already his hand fully clinched over there. The player in blue is I felt that he's still on the floor, and that's why I placed my cross slightly higher, because I feel that there's still a space for the jump to reach his conclusion over there.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll work my way down. Well, I'll take the first 5 judges above this calculated average first. That brings me to you, Kieran. You're just below Aries there, the dark green cross. Yeah. How did you see this?
Yes, thanks, Matt. Not very much different from my colleagues. I do think the player in yellow is coming across the player in what I would call a light blue top. I think he is obviously favourite to win the ball, but I think he's not quite there. I think it's imminent from the frowns and the way the fists start to be clenched, but I think he's still just travelling across the player, and he's going to meet the ball in a little while. I think, remember, we're always looking at the centre of the ball, so the ball may be a little bit part of the ball may be a little bit lower than where I've placed my cross, but that's why I placed my cross a little bit higher than some of my colleagues.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll come to my own, my red cross there. I agree. I think, as Leo said, the player is leaning back slightly, and I thought he was basically coming across to head the ball and basically putting the light blue player off. He's just muscling him out the way. And I think, as again Leo said, he's in control. He seems to be sturdier than the player in blue, and worked on that. So Hugh, you're the last one above the calculated average, just to the left of my own. What was your view?
Thanks, Matt. For me, the player in yellow's favourite to head it. I think I agree. He's still got a little way to go to meet the ball, partly because his arms still not clenched, partly because I think he's still looking up and hasn't moved his head forward to meet it yet. So for me, it's still dropping. He's still rising slightly to meet it. I think it was tricky to see the player in blue's pupil. It's quite hard to see exactly where he's looking because we're from this side of the picture. So I took his general head angle and a rough idea from where his general direction he's looking in, but my main focus was the player in yellow.
Yeah, thank you. And now I'll come to the choices which are below. Alain, I'll come to you first. You're just to the left of René's, who I'll come to next. So Alain, you're the yellow cross. What was your opinion?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Yeah, no, I thought, yeah, as my colleagues mentioned, player in yellow is the favorite to hit the ball. The ball is coming very steeply. Therefore, what I thought is, if the ball is too high, the player might miss the ball actually. Therefore, I thought the impact was quite imminent. Hence the reason I went a bit lower than some of my colleagues. We couldn't see much of the eye of the player in light blue, so it didn't help that much. So yeah, I had to guess based on the body language of the player in yellow. I think he's leaning backwards. And I think the contact with the ball is quite imminent.
Yeah, thank you. And René, you can see yourself there under the magnifier, the light green cross, just to the right of Alain's own cross. Do you agree?
Yeah, very similar to Alain, to be honest. I felt like the ball was coming quite steeply, and I think with his neck, obviously his head's sort of craned back, and I don't feel like he's got sort of much more room to go backwards. So I think his head is now going to start to propel forwards and obviously head through the ball. And then I did take a little bit from the eye line of the player in blue. I feel like you can just about see sort of where his pupil is, and obviously you can see a lot of white and a bit of white underneath his eyes. So I felt like where that stopped, where there's a bit of a shadow, that's where his pupil was. And I just intersected the lines, and that's where I put my cross.
Yeah, thank you. And again, under the magnifier, there you are, Jenna. You're just below René and Alain's. What was your opinion?
Yeah, very similar to Ren, really. I felt the player in yellow was obviously favourite to win the ball. His arm position and his facials indicated to me that the contact for the ball was quite imminent. I felt he was about to, head through the ball at that stage. I felt the ball was ever so slightly out in front of him, just given the tilt of his head. And then I've used the eye line I've used the forehead of the player in blue because I couldn't really see that much of his eye. And that's where I've come to the cross. So I felt like contact was imminent and he was about to power through.
Yeah, thank you. And lastly, the last two at the bottom there, we have Roger and Peters. I'll come to you first, Peter. You're the dark purple cross there that's magnified. How did you see this?
Yeah, similar to everybody else. Favourite for the ball is the player in yellow. I do believe the ball is imminent. He's at the top of his, just about at the top of his jump. The way his facial expression is, he's forehead is frowned. He's biting his lip as such, or truly lit, I should say. And the height of the ball I've got from obviously the player in the bluish white shirt there. And again, not as steep as the others. Again, looking at the angle of his head and his eye position, I couldn't see how, looking through his eyebrow, I can't see how high that would have been. As in, it's a lower trajectory for me rather than a higher one. So that's what I think.
Okay, and last but not least, Roger, you're the pink cross there. You're ever so slightly the lowest of the judges. What was your view?
Very similar to Peter. I obviously, as we've said, the guy in yellow, he's powering through there, muscling the light blue out the way, and I've got him very imminently heading that ball. But it was the guy in the light blue that sort of concerned me. I couldn't really see if he was the way he was looking, how he could be particularly steep. He'd be looking sort of up through his eyebrow. So I also, for me, that sort of confirmed that the ball was lower and was about to be met by the yellow player.
Yeah, sure. So we've got some differing opinions. I think everybody agrees that the yellow player is going to head the ball and favourite to win and in control of the situation. And as a lot of people alluded to, we can't really see this guy in blue's pupil, but he's looking in the direction of the ball. I mean, it may well be that he's on the way to closing his eyes because this guy's going to come through and totally clatter him, but we don't know that. And we've got quite a small shaft up from this player in blue. The choices are quite narrow, and it's just the split. And we have various people who are lower saying they think the ball's imminent, the ball's coming down steeply. Others believe it's got a bit of a way to go and it's going to come down. And also the yellow player's not at the top of his jump. So we've got top of his jump, not quite at the top of his jump. And that's why we've got the split top to bottom. If I put the magnifier over the calculated average here, as you see, we've got the two at the top, Leo and Aries popping out. And at the bottom, we've got Roger and Peters popping out. So if I take the magnifier, you can just see it's to the right of Hugh's choice and a little bit further down. If I was, just as an exercise, to remove those four choices that are up and down, we get obviously a tight cluster. And as you can see, it hasn't moved a huge amount. And I don't think I'm justified removing as lead judge four choices just because of this different opinions about how they see the shot and the fact that we can't see this player's pupil. So I have a mind to judge at this calculated average with all the 10 choices. And I think it brings it into the middle. If I draw another line up from this player through the calculated average, we've got a fairly good split with 4 above, 4 below, and again, 6 below slightly, and then up through here. Again, we've got a split mainly to the left, but it's marginal. And moving side to side is going to be difficult because really the choices we have are up and down. So if I undo those, because it looks a bit of a mess, I will go through you individually again and just see if you want to see anybody's out, how you feel about the judging with this calculated average, and then if we need to, we can move to a vote. So Kieran, I'll come to you first.
I agree with you that I think we should leave all 10 judges in. My reasoning is because the player in light blue's eyes are not clear. We can't see exactly on what line he's looking at. And therefore, I think there are justifications for both the higher and lower positions in this situation. So I would leave all 10 judges in.
Thank you. Alain?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Yeah, no, I agree with Kieran. I think we should give everyone. We got a tight narrow band from the player in yellow, And yeah, as you can see, we got 5 crosses above, 5 crosses below. So, and it's difficult to determine the height of the ball. So I would keep everyone.
Great, thank you. Leo?
Yeah, I agree. All crosses are feasible, and I think the average is in a very good place.
Great, thank you. Hugh?
Yeah, I agree. It's a good balance from top to bottom, and they're all realistic.
Thank you. Peter?
Yes, I concur that average where it is a good average.
Thank you. Jenna?
Yeah, I'm happy with all 10 remaining in.
Thank you. Ari?
I'm happy as well with the all 10 remaining.
Lovely. Renee?
Yeah, I feel like it's a good balance above and below, so I'm happy with everybody staying in.
Thank you. And lastly, Roger?
Yeah, I think I would leave all 10. I think, you know, we've explained how we've got there. So great.
Yeah, thank you. So Henry, after a good discussion, and we've decided to judge at this average, principally because we've got a very narrow band up from the player in yellow, and we can't really see fully the eye of the player in blue, which has given us a sort of a wide split top to bottom. But the calculated average is in the middle there with the magnifier over it. So that's our choice.
Great. Thank you, Matt. If you're happy, please click submit. Thank you, judges. The coordinates selected are x2139, y1159. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company ASITS to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will inform BOTB. That includes the judging process. Thank you very much.